Greetings. My name is Russ Hatfield, and I am joined by my twin soul, Kara, who is a higher dimensional member of Ashtar Command stationed on Hades base. We have a few notes to cover, which will help in understanding some of the behind-the-scenes aspects of the challenge session for September. Starting with Tia, who is our first speaker, at this point in the sessions, only Clara had been born to Kara, and Alex had been born to Kiri and Mark. Tia was currently pregnant with the triplets and was planning on going on pregnancy leave soon. Tia had been training me in astral projection and gave me some advice on going solid while I had been working on going out of my solar plexus, which is just one of the chakras. She explains you can leave from various places on your body. Another note from her time talking is that when she discussed having two, she meant her ability to nurse her upcoming triplets. The last note is about the pilot's party discussed. Mark and I had both been allowed to fly craft from the base, so we were invited to what would be a very exclusive party. That brings on Omal, who, when he said he found some jokes, he means he found them by rummaging in Mark's mind. He and Tia had me going longer and longer distances on my training for astral travel. Stanford, that was mentioned, was just one of my targets that was used for my remote viewing practice. When we talk about the Eindecker, it's a German aircraft from World War I Mark flew in the computer games we played together. The notes from the next speaker after Omal are from Kara, who had me help her with a patient of hers in my astral form. In the challenge session, I say it was instinctive how I helped heal the person, but I'm pretty sure Kara was there feeding me instructions telepathically that I assumed were mine. The final note from our time speaking was that the crystal I mentioned with the pyrite is a small handheld scalpel-shaped crystal with a little bit of pyrite in the end. At the last note from side 1 is for when Kiri ends things, and that is that Alex that we are talking about was just an infant at the time. On side 2, the sound distortions are a bit more on this side than sound 1, so some of the words may not be exact. The first notes from the side, though, are from a return channeling of Omal because everyone else had left for a ceremony, and so when we talk about him backpacking, it's that there are certain things in the ceremony that he does in an official capacity, such as bringing in 2 jugs of water. This side is less than 20 minutes long, and so each speaker doesn't have much time, but the next speaker on the side is Corton, and the only note from his time talking is that the ceremony calls for the 2 jugs of water Omal brought in, which are to be poured around the couple afterwards. Corton would be officiating, and so he would be the one to give the notice on when to start pouring the water. Our last guest speaker of the night is Luna, who specializes in Earth history, and she was the best person to ask about information on Atlantis. She does so quite well. The final note from the channeling session is that Omal wraps things up with a last-minute advice from me prior to the ceremony, which is for me to go solid. For a full transcript of this latest channeling session, please go to our main homepage at HadesBaseNews.com. We invite you to subscribe to be kept informed of future postings on the YouTube channel from the members of Ashtar Command. Now we present our latest entry into the Hades Base archives recorded in 1998, Advanced Evolution and a Very Special Ceremony.
Sequence following the quick one that spoke. Down came the wind and watched all it see out. Out came the sun and dried the sea out. And the itsy spider was trying back up the spout. So, yeah. No problems.
None whatsoever. Hi, Tia. How's it going? I missed you lately, girl.
I've missed somebody else as well, but I've been trying to get his attention.
So I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
Oh, yeah.
So, where have you been the last couple days? Busy, good, huh?
I have work to do, you know. I'm trying to get as much done as possible before I go on pregnancy leave.
Good plan.
Mm-hmm. So I too am doing 2 days worth of work in one.
That is true.
Mm-hmm. But I am taking care of myself as well.
Oh, which is the difference?
Big difference.
Big
I have brains.
difference. As I've already found out.
Of course.
Of course.
Not only do I have a beautiful body, I also have a lot of brains. I'm not the flaky bimbo that you thought I was once.
Well, that was a premature
Mm-hmm.
evaluation.
Yeah, like talking to the girl down the street. Hmm?
Down the street.
Yes, you did say that.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think I did.
Trying to dodge the bullet. Just because I was a little bit shy.
Well, you got it over that.
Mm-hmm.
Quite admirably, I might add.
Oh, I got to know you guys.
Well, that's true. And you might have heard that means something like that.
Mm. Just relay that to somebody.
All right.
I take it she's not present this evening.
No, she's
Mm. Oh, well.
okay. Down to work. Fun time. Well, by the way, how's the pregnancy going?
Oh, it's going as well as can be expected.
Any more checking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Well, that means it's going on. It's supposed to be. When you stop up checking, you have to start the rain.
You're not going to be up chucking all the time on pregnant?
You have to ask Cara on that one. I'm not an expert. She'll know. Okay. Question.
Yeah.
Currently in my farsighting,
Mm-hmm. Getting good at that, aren't I?
you are getting good at that. On money. Now that I'm going in and out, sort of, not without any problems.
You know what? You want to change what they're saying?
I better explain what I'm saying. Actually, might
Mhm.
be more appropriate. Okay. With in and out, I refer to the fact that I farsight the Hades base, and then I have to adjust my body position down here.
Mm-hmm.
So I come back down here, adjust my body position, go back up there, which is the mental state.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how can I use this to my advantage?
Not to do it automatically. You have to adjust your body state. That subtracts some of the energy, right?
Right.
But just let it happen automatically. Let your body go on autopilot.
Okay. By that you mean just don't take my consciousness with it.
Yeah.
You know, that's sort of the problem, though. My body isn't designed that way mentally.
Well, reprogram your network. Take care of the body. Automatic responses.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So in other words, if my body feels weird, I program it to just go ahead and change itself to whatever position it needs.
That's correct.
I'll give it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now then. Now I'm finding that a breakthrough for me right now is going out of body through my solar plexus.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because everybody has their own different techniques. Everybody has their own different techniques, and you're experimenting to find the one that suits you best. Correct? Mm-hmm.
Why would going out my solar plexus be a better way than going out of my head? Just because genetics?
Probably. But some people think of their stomach anyway.
Okay.
And there's a very simple way to explain it, is that by shifting energy, you can leave by different parts of the body. For example, when you leave through the head, right?
Right.
Most of the energy starts off in that part of the body.
Right.
When you leave by the feet, it starts off in that area.
Right.
And so on. And you're finding by distributing energy in the solar plexus area, right? That is easier for you.
Yeah.
So therefore it works.
Okay. But it's like it's through my will,
Mm-hmm.
which is where I got the whole idea from in the first place.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Correct.
See?
Okay.
I have to do that again. It's cool.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how can I use this with my previous question?
Refresh my memory.
The in and out.
Just ignore your body. Just let, before you leave, you say to yourself, my body will do what it necessarily take care of itself. And imagine that in your mind, lit up in big red letters. And then, off it. Log it, do a runner, leave your body behind. That's fun.
Okay.
You'll find that it would be a lot easier to go solo at that point. Because you don't have to concern yourself with the body down there.
Well, that's my biggest problem.
Mm-hmm.
Is keeping my mind on my body down here. It keeping my body there.
I'm going to sit it.
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
Talking about bodies, I'm probably trying to this and you've not long.
You're having a great time.
Uh-huh. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. And I know that clearly you can't be distracted for a few minutes, but she is feeding.
Honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever they do.
Or filling his mouth with.
Right. Okay.
I'm getting 3 times as much from it.
Well, yeah, that's true. You're gonna have a blast. Only trouble is you only got
Yeah, I've only got 2.
right.
Don't worry, I'll figure out the way.
Actually, that will work out fine. Because Kiri still be feeding that though.
Mm-hmm.
So you actually have 4 to work with. You have 4 children.
And 4.
Being right.
Yeah.
Well, that works out fine.
Mm-hmm.
The math works.
Of course. I'm a mathematical genius.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Of course, Kiri's taking care of her body. She's working out, getting back in shape, and doing some mental sparring, working on her shielding.
Well, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Party set for Wednesday?
Mm-hmm. Am I invited to this pilot party?
Don't believe so. As Mark mentioned to me tonight that women there would be fair game.
Oh. So men only thing, huh?
I believe that was the intent of this.
Pilots only, in other words.
Right. I mean, us pilots, I guess, who flown various craft, which I don't think you have yet. Have you?
I will do so. I will do so.
I have no doubt of that.
Hmm?
I think until that point, it's pilots only.
I can be just as aggressive as the next person. Brrr.
Okay.
Barrel.
Alright.
Walla walla walla. Walla walla walla. Row. Row.
I see some of that aggressive hasn't been honed out of Eugene yet.
Neither to survival of the fittest. Actually, survival of the smartest. That's me. Okay.
Concerning Tuesday.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Not this time. If you want to go past on this by yourself, you can, but I've got a lot of work to do.
Okay.
Arranging things, getting everything sorted out, doing rehearsals, making sure everything's all, yeah.
Good. Well, because I was going to want to kind of maybe hold off on it anyway,
Mm-hmm.
due to the fact that I've got a very full schedule Tuesday,
Right.
as days also.
Okay.
Since I've got regressions to do, healing to do, the list goes on and on. We're both pretty busy. We'll just hold off the next Tuesday.
So I've got to get presents.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
That's it for me.
I'm going off to pick up some fencing so I can do some dueling.
Good. Yes, you were mentioning that, weren't we?
Mm-hmm.
You might happen to stop by at that point, did you?
No, but I'm referring to a different type of dueling. Mark's favourite type.
Oh. Bite me.
Greetings and felicitations for us. And how are we functioning?
Barely hanging in there.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
How you doing, Omar?
I am functioning within specified operational parameters.
Right.
Yep.
I'm glad to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Fun. Alright, we're on to... Ba-ba-da-ba.
Called interlude, huh?
Yes. Okay, we have got dealings with, first off, David Copperfield.
Okay.
I know how he does it now.
Okay.
It's strings and meters.
Mm-hmm. It's all done with mirrors, you know.
Alright.
I believe we made that comment at the time.
Yes, but the strings part I hadn't quite figured out yet.
Mhm.
So, doesn't use PK.
No. Not like some individuals that are trusted-hearted
See,
and trusting you as well.
can only imagine.
Mm-hmm. She really is a show-off, you know.
Yes. Wonderful exhibitionist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We have, as I mentioned to Corton,
Mm-hmm.
or I do, a regression with a gentleman named John,
Yeah.
stage magician style,
Mm-hmm.
who is looking at finding a way of PK.
Mm-hmm.
So, he wants to learn farsight.
Okay.
Now, whether that'll lead him to PK or not, I don't know.
Mm. As been stated in the past, farsighting is a particular field on its own. Very solitary line of work almost.
Well, with the focus needed to learn farsighting,
Mm-hmm. Will
assist
help, yes.
in PK.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for training, it's nothing bad to get into.
No. And here's magician's joke.
Oh, good.
Notice my hand never leaves the end of my arms.
Uh-huh. That's pretty good.
Oh, found some jokes. Two cats sitting at a tennis court,
Okay.
and one cat said to the other cat, "I did not know that you were a tennis fan." The other cat replies, "Well, my father's in the racket."
Oh. It's a good one, though.
A mother and father are talking about their son that is away at college. The mother says, "When was the last time we heard from our son?" And the father replies, "Hold on a minute, I'll look in our checkbook." Okay, you may proceed now with your questions.
Okay. Observation first.
Okay.
If you're familiar with the popular entertainment of ours called Star Trek: The Next Generation,
Mm-hmm.
gentleman in that name is Data,
Mm-hmm.
android.
Yes.
Um,
Operating within specific. Yes, we did pick that up from the channeler.
yeah. I'm noticing also there's certain similarities between his working to grasp human humor and yourself.
I do not need to grasp human humor. I understand. I am just very bad at telling jokes.
That was actually really better once you had.
Okay, proceed.
Okay, we're on to next. And when I went out to check Stanford today
Mm-hmm.
for a quick second or two, and discovered that what I was checking out to be thought it might be a microwave or something like that. It turned out to be an autoclave.
Yeah.
For sterilizing various instruments and stuff. But they were using, it's a different kind, whereby you don't boil them and put them in alcohol or something. They were using like microwaves or sound waves.
Sound waves.
Sound waves? How is it that they can use sound waves to clean off something like that? Like instruments and stuff?
By the intensity of the frequency. It will vibrate the metal and it creates heat by doing so.
Oh. Which would kill the germs.
Correct.
Ah.
But you cannot have any canine species in the area.
So it's an extra height difference.
Yes, because the cats in the neighborhood would sit and watch the ears bleed off the dog. Yes, we did hear that one.
Okay, good. Wow. Oh, okay. 'Cause that was a new kind of technology I'd never seen before.
It is not that new.
When I'd been seeing, when I saw it today, it was like, oh, that's what he's doing.
Uh-huh.
Because it looked like it was metal.
Yes, we are practicing for when the weather is warmer.
All right, so I want to go back then instead of to that building I went to saw that one. I want to go back to my original building.
Correct.
Okay, so you can't see that building now. Now then, there's
It is not as easy as you expected it to be.
it's much tough. When we were discussing, I was discussing with Cornas genetic changes throughout history.
Mm-hmm.
We had the genetic cutoff at 350,000 years between the two species.
That's plus or minus.
Plus or minus, right? Cro-Magnon and Neanderthal.
Mm-hmm.
Then the changes, he says, happened after that were caused by natural conditions.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, at what point would the natural conditions, say, increase a brain's functions?
If the interference hadn't occurred, your history would be approximately just reaching the level of technology in Egypt at the time of the first pharaohs. So you would be just about starting to write.
Hieroglyphics?
Yes, I'm afraid it is that much of an advantage.
Yeah. No kidding. That puts a whole new light on things. Well, now, what about with the new changes happening with our latest edition?
Mhm.
Are we going to be seeing then in advance that would have been slowed down to, say, space travel to Mars? Colonization type thing?
We haven't had enough time yet to analyze what would happen because of this addition. But I'm sure that this addition will increase variable factors.
Right.
And assuming and hoping that Alex is a start of a new dynasty, we can only speculate on what's going to happen.
Now, what about if have you speculated on the fact that he were to say, theoretically, go solid down here
Mm-hmm.
and let's say propagate a couple offspring through,
It would be diluted,
it would be diluted.
yes. Because instead of breeding with people of his own capability, for example, Ara,
Right.
then he would be breeding with a lesser capability.
Even though they're on third dimension,
Mm-hmm.
especially because they're on third dimension.
Yes.
I get it. Okay. Yeah, weather is warming up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Why does that seem like I feel so old-fashioned now?
Things will change.
Good. I feel like I'm kind of a grandfather all of a sudden.
The Model T opposed to the Ferrari.
Correct. Exactly how I feel. Very strange feeling, I'll tell you.
I've
Just
never
when you-
had that problem.
Just when you thought you were a Ferrari, you find out you're just barely above horse and carriage.
Or an analogy that you might enjoy more. You are an Eindecker or an F-16.
Thank you. Yes, I do enjoy that.
And that would put the Chandler being a Sopwith Pup or an F-16.
Yeah, that's what we're figuring.
Mm-hmm.
But now, what would that make you?
That would make me USS NCC 1701 E,
Enterprise.
of course.
Of course. That's a nice way to put it, as a matter of fact.
I'm old to Enterprise. Beam me up, Scotty. I'd let the captain, but I only know your coordinations.
Oh, God. You have to go on stage someday.
Yes, preferably the next one out of town.
Yes, you got Earth humor down to a science.
Yes, I said I understood it.
Very well. Very well.
It does help to sit down and listen to your humorous sessions and to talk to a channeler about humor. It is a very illogical assumption, Captain.
It's a very illogical function.
Okay, next question.
Okay. Well, that's it.
Okay.
We're set. Right now, it's just, practice.
Okay, practice, and I will depart. Have an enjoyable evening. When you're up here next, swing by and say hi.
Okay.
I have something for you.
Oh, all right. Glad to.
Have an enjoyable day, and look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you. Appreciate that overall. Mm-hmm. Akira?
Mm-hmm.
Car?
Uh-huh. Hey, people.
How's it going?
Oh, fine.
Well, that's good to hear.
Getting ready. Getting excited.
I'm getting totally excited.
So, I have my dress made.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. We have your clothes ready for you.
Well, good.
And she and myself have to discuss flower arrangements. Kiri seems to have other things on her mind at the moment.
She's got a handful, though.
True. She is useful to have around for babysitting purposes.
True.
When you come up here, Max, how about a round of racquetball?
How's your arm?
I can play.
Oh, okay.
Looking forward to it. You haven't seen me in my racquetball outfit.
I have played before, so I won't be a total loss out there.
Maybe we will be as good as each other.
Let's hope so. Be up there shortly to do so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, you have the question for me.
Couple. Number one, concerning the gentleman I assisted the other day.
Mm-hmm.
First off, what's wrong with the door?
There was it's a little bit embarrassing for the poor gentleman. He is a repair technician, and working on the door, we accidentally tripped the release mechanism when it shouldn't have been. So, what happens? Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, how's he doing now?
And he has full function and he has an extreme fear of doors. No, not fear of doors. He is just very careful, as he should be.
Good.
Like you, we do get lax about things after.
Okay, now that in my treatment of his art,
Mm-hmm.
Why was it that rushing down and away from the alarm assisted his healing process?
Because you were drawing the damage away.
Right.
You're pulling it down and realigning the balance.
Because that was strictly instinctive when I did that.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what I was doing till after it was done.
Now you want an explanation why.
Right.
By pulling the energy down like that, you are realigning it and getting the flow to where it properly.
Oh.
So by pulling down, you can do so.
So did the cells then realign themselves because of that?
Yes. You aid in the realignment.
Now, how did you know I'd be able to do something like that?
I didn't. I was taking a gamble.
Damn it. It surprised the heck out of me.
Women's intuition.
That's only without the this.
Of course.
Okay. So now, is that a useful for work down here?
Yes, it is. You can use it. Focus more energy in your hands to surround the area, like thus, and pull down,
Okay.
but closer, like not to get the hand-eye coordination of fear. That's
Okay. And then, what other things can I use that for besides, say, a damaged arm like that?
Damaged parts of the anatomy, any damage part, as long as you follow the line. You can do it for laying on of hands, but you do not do the stroking.
Okay.
You can use the energy flow for massaging, but not the stroking effect.
Now, would that have worked better if I had used that for you today?
Might have done.
Okay. Because instead I went through micro cracks and worked with those instead.
I do enjoy that though.
The stroking part?
Both. The attention more.
Well, I'm glad to help.
Mm-hmm.
That's good practice for me too.
Oh, yes.
Okay. Now then. Yeah, I was gonna ask you, okay, how did my suit come out for the party?
We will let you see when you come up. Sia, from what I gathered before she left, was going to get Mark to try on his uniform.
That'd be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So presumably he is parading around in his military dress uniform.
Yeah, it should be good.
Mm.
Alright. Oh yes.
You are on air,
I'm behind her.
unfortunately.
I agree. I've got a healing session with Carrie on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. You do have a busy schedule, don't you?
Tuesday is a Zoom time for me. Okay.
Mm.
With this, I'm going to be using the energy channeling.
Mm-hmm. And what else are you going to be using?
Oh, the crystal.
Good.
Yeah, she's still got that bump. They prescribed it as an infection that happened because she switched backings on an ear ring.
Mm-hmm.
And it caused an infection which caused a bump.
Okay.
But at last time I talked to her, which was a few days ago, the bump still hadn't gone away.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you need to work on it.
Right.
Okay, good on you. Now, remember, no matter how much energy you can pump into that crystal, it can take more.
Oh. Okay.
It can take more, and more the better.
Now then, what is the pyrite do that's in the base of this crystal?
And it helps to keep the energy flowing in the correct direction.
Oh. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Now then. Oh yes, going solid Wednesday. Is that my work that I'm doing?
Uh-huh. I'll be helping you all the way.
Okay. Now, where will I meet you at? You.
That's hard, and you can't really. You know, the little room off to one side, the flower schools. There. Okay? Can you do that?
Hmm. That's not your bed in the other room.
Yeah. It's not the living room.
I'll practice before Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Is that it?
That's it.
Yeah, I've got to go, because I've got to go and change the young lady.
Okay.
It hasn't got coffee transfer. But she's working on it.
She's working on standing.
Yeah, she says hello.
Oh, good.
She said hello, Pop.
Well, I'll come up and see her and yourself. We'll get some racquetball practice.
And then we can go swimming, the three of us.
Absolutely.
I'm just getting good at kicking around in the pool. Okay,
I'll talk to you later. Let's
see you later. Yes.
It was good seeing you today.
Mm-hmm. Like my outfit?
I like your outfit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, half of the outfit anyway.
What is wrong with the outfit?
Well, the other half is down.
Mm-hmm.
From there on up one picture. Okay. Now then, did the energy I sent you help?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good.
You'll be using more energy.
You are.
Uh-huh.
What?
I don't need any more from you,
Oh, okay.
but
Anyway, how's everything going up there?
totally excellent, dude.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
So Alex eats a lot.
Yeah. But I've got plenty of skin in there.
Well, that's
But I am a master caresser, and don't you forget it, Husker.
keep reminding me.
Yeah. You have an enjoyable evening with Big Sis.
All right.
I've got my gown all ready. I was going to wear it, but you can't see it, can you?
No.
It's a little bit shorter than I wanted it, but it'll do.
Now, what's going to happen with Alex during the cinema?
He's going to sleep.
Because he...
Yeah.
Okay,
But
good.
he's going to be at hand if I need to quieten him down. But I think he'll behave himself.
Well,
All
we're
right.
set for Wednesday.
Yeah.
I'll go and say hi before that.
Okay. Give me warning because, you know how I can walk around with my, unit.
Yeah. You'll have a wonderful night.
You want to get rid of me?
No,
Okay. I take the message.
of course not. I do.
Oh, yeah. I can wait.
So what's up, girl?
Well, apart from enjoying motherhood, I'm getting back to my work.
She waits getting down.
Oh, yeah. Maybe soon as sweet as than I was before, apart from my chest. I'm not sure I like bigger heads.
No, it's the one.
Mhm. But the thing is that when Alex feeds, when he really feeds, I kind of get all.
Right.
So yeah, it's kind of lots of exercise for me. Anyway, you haven't got any questions for me, have you? In real difficulty.
My real question is what's in heaven? Due to the fact that I've been working on collision lately. It's part of my
Mm-hmm.
So, this evening's entertainment. Mm-hmm. Yep. What can I do for you? Currently, I know it confused with the staff passing. Uh-huh. Okay. And that's it. So far as I know, yeah. Okay, you have questions for me. Um, yeah, there's another question. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Um, he's ceremony. Mm-hmm. Carl went over the basics of it, mm-hmm. But I wanted to make sure our money part of it, I'm not sure we would have to put in the water tank. Mm-hmm. Is that maybe generally water of soil? Yeah, basically it's a little bit more long-winded than that. It's designing and sharing of each other the essence, water representing purity, the essence of life. We can, life. It is the sharing of those items. Now, take that to a step not quite the same with the Israelites. Mm-hmm. When they left Egypt, they were able to accomplish a few different things that they suggested they had a higher technology than you could be given credit for that time and day. Mm-hmm. Specifically, let's say the wall of Jericho. They're encircling the wall of Jericho, go around in times. Mm-hmm. Below their hands and the walls of blood. Now, looking at that, the person thinks that possibly there is a resonating crystal. Mm-hmm. That the certain notes of the horns get sent to vibrate to cause the ground to shake, cause walls to fall out. So, you're saying that they lug the crystals around with them? Mm-hmm. It would make sense that if they're leaving from Egypt, if there are possibly some members within the priesthood or advancing knowledge within that crowd in charge. I suggest that you reread the Bible to understand your little bit of information there that you were trying to disclose about the walls of Jericho and the exorcists from Egypt. There is a little discrepancy in your research. They did not happen together. What happened during that period of unrest that they had once they were in the land it was before after split. I believe it was before they'd already left Egypt and arrived in where modern day Israel is. Well, I'm thinking the Ark of the Covenant. The outside of it's pretty clear of what it was and how big it was and all. And the inside the complete mystery. All that's known to be said is that it contained the essence of God. Okay. Well, what if theorizing that inside that ark was, let's say, a crystal that could rotate?
That still wouldn't be large enough to cause such a disruption. You know how big the crystal would have to be, and it would approximately have to be at least 10 feet tall and high. It's a big crystal.
Alright, well, that's
And that's it on the questions, huh?
that's it on the question. You're right, you know, wanting to possibly it's something I could put forward towards a fictional novel.
Yeah.
Really like that.
Well, you could use whatever you wanted that was fictional. You could say that the crystal was such and such a size. Doesn't really matter in a fictional novel, does it?
And then imagine that technology in the sound wave.
Mm-hmm.
So fictional, it could be a kind of sound wave emitter focused to the ground. The ones resonating moves that are, fictionally speaking, everything on that.
Of course. But you don't want to be too out there. When everybody is playing football, you're playing baseball.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You'll be at the party tonight?
That's of course. Of course, I will be at the party.
Okay, good.
Wouldn't miss it for the world.
I don't blame you.
And don't forget I have an official function this evening.
Mm-hmm.
There is Qualcomm here, and Luna, and that is it.
Well, I can understand there.
I will hand over to Qualcomm
Okay.
and have an enjoyable interview before the start of your nuptials. And see you in a bit. Greetings and fortunes and condolences.
Poor God. Words of encouragement. How is it at this time?
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Okay. On the ceremony, things private I should know about.
On Kara, there shouldn't be any. On Kerry, who knows?
Good Lord. Who knows? So I take it they'll be doing myself and Kara first,
Yes,
and then carrying on.
they were coming to me at the end. And we have had to remove or redesign the cake as we go to us that Mark has a dislike for the ritual of smearing cake over each other.
Yeah.
And apparently, Siri has heard about that and is planning. But we had to persuade her not
Yeah. Wonderful.
what
Food fight.
yet. I think that's how she described it.
Yeah, you thought would at least have to be something like it. While the guests all kind of wander around and they feel
That it would be a little bit unusual in such a serious occasion.
good. not imperial. She's going to be serious, or at least five them. Okay. Now, the formality of it is, extremely formal. I shall be waiting and being extremely serious. And I'll also probably be acting in a capacity as what's the word? Judge. With the word. The yes. There is no written certificate. I do not understand the significance of the sword post. For the people look at. I'm not going to use it to cut the paper. I hope not. Actually, that would be quite interesting to watch. And they suggest that to the channel. People want to get out quite Okay, cool. One question. What do you want? You both. You have to walk around or not just remember. With all drugs. Okay. Right, so now hand over to Linda. See you shortly. And I must go and look on a different item of clothing. Yes. I look forward to it and I'm excited. Okay. See you later. Oh, I'm doing great. Got left here for Eternal. Maybe at the ceremony party. Okay, I'll look these up. It's not a fact. We were discussing at one point evolution in sleep. I've been studying a little bit about Atlantis. And one of the things I've been studying is that during before the fall of Atlantis, North America was covered by major glaciers. So with the water that would melt from the glaciers cover up Atlantis, so second with the salt that that's allowing from the northeast Pacific. Alright, what I surmised is that the battle for Atlantis, let's say, would set off a number of volcanoes, creating enough ash, silt, and pumice to bury Atlantis under, say, hundreds of feet of material. And taking things that might have been hills and mountains and turning into flat plains. That would make sense. It would have to be a lot more than 300 feet and pick up at some of the mountains. The mountain that is think about the clouds and reefs. Now, wouldn't that still possibly be part of, let's say, the Bahamas or something? Possibly. You'd have to solve the see the growth in the structure in the seed.
Okay. Now, wouldn't it be sort of, I'm wondering why nobody spotted this before, but the age of the soil around Atlantis would be strictly volcanic in nature. You could date back when the last eruption were just about estimating all of Atlantis was.
Well, I love the fact that you have the doing such as deposits from erosion, deposits from other eruptions that could be laid down on top of that, so it would be hard to tell. Have to look for telltale signs of buildings and so on.
Yeah, but see, that's under so deep, you never find them.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it was best that it remains buried.
That's true.
Just speculating.
But, yeah, I figured that's the only way that the pyramids would still be active there
Mm-hmm.
and not have been totally destroyed would be if they were just buried.
Yeah, it's quite possible. You would need to probably cut them about half their length to make sure that they were nice and stable when sink down, and then the rest would be filled up with various sediments from erosion, upper eruption, and so on.
Well, it would still be working.
Comments. Maybe just the tip pointing of like looking like a rock and
And that'd be a mountain. Huh? It's amazing. Now, one thing I noticed is that when you look at a underwater map for the area, there's a triangular space just below Florida that looks almost like a bay. It used to be a bay. If you were to raise that up a bit, you'd have what would be a perfect natural, almost lake or harbor.
one thing if this is natural or influenced by other planets that
Right.
I don't know, I don't have a map available at the moment to check the information.
We should kind of getting up a picture of what it would look like then on the air. And see if clicking the ones. Well, that's about it.
What joyful see thing.
Oh, thank you, man. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing you too. You said take and tea.
Oh, back again once more briefly.
Yes, Courtney. Omar?
All.
Oh. I'm just not paying attention.
No, you're not. Okay, the message in car.
Yeah.
Repeat after me.
Okay.
I will go solid.
I will go solid.
And again.
I will go solid.
And again.
I will go solid.
Okay. Now be real positive about it. And for the last time, what will you do?
I'll go solid.
More positive.
I will go solid.
That's better. Okay. Before you depart, we suggest that you do that with a lot more energy and positivity. Because,
Positivity.
okay?
Okay.
So let's see you shortly. I must
go and change and get ready. You have about 15 to 20 minutes before the change should be underway.
Got it. Get set.
Okay.